Welcome to UDYAM 2.0, powered by SPECANCIENS Executive Body. In episode 6 of Volume 2, we are pleased to host a much needed session on interview etiquettes, a critical area for every student and aspiring professional. Our speaker for today is Mr. Shireesh R, a senior specialist in app development at AT&T and the president of SPECANCIENS. With his vast industry exposure and leadership experience, he brings a unique perspective on how to make a lasting impression during interviews. We are honored to have you with us, Sirish. Over to you.
Thank you, Srinija. Hi, everybody. So, now in this session, we are going to talk about how you behave and present yourself in the interview. We are not going to talk about what you will tell in the interview because what you will speak is entirely dependent on your preparation. So, I'll discuss on how you have to do things, what to do, what not to do, which it brings me to the table of contents. So we will be focusing on, the three elements of the interview. So you have an interview. So what should you do before the interview? What should you do and not do during the interview? And what should you do after the interview? So this three things you need to follow for every interview. It's applicable for every interview that you do. It also, I mean, you guys are already, experienced with at least one set of interview. I mean, all of you have been interviewed for SPECANCIENS, so you at least have an idea of how to, behave yourself during the interview. But we will talk about more when because the SPECANCIENS interview was more like an informal interview. But what we are talking here is the professional level interview where you go to a corporate company or any sort of company, not just corporate. But yeah, here it's more focused on corporate content, but it applies for any company that you go and give your interview to. So let's start with what to do before the interview, right? So if you remember the table of contents, the first thing that was mentioned was the attire. So whenever you go to an interview, attire is very important. I mean, that's how the first impression, gets generated for the interviewer. When they see you, in your proper attire, they obviously have a positive impression before even they know about your skill set or before even you talk. There is already a positive, impression in the beginning. So attire is very simple. Absolute formal wear. You need to have a well-groomed hair. Doesn't matter if it's long or short, but as long as you have a well-groomed hair, it should be fine. Because this is your first set of interviews. I mean, given you're going as a fresher, so it's clean shave is preferable. If you think to have a beard, I would recommend not to. Go clean shave. That's okay. Your beard will grow again in a week. But the interview etiquette there is to have a clean shave when you're a fresher. For experience, it depends. When you have experience, people are more focused on your skill. People are more focused on what you know. But because you're a fresher, an interviewer expects. I mean, when I interviewed freshers, I definitely expected them to have these things. So that also takes me to the last, polished belt and shoes. Don't go there with untidy shoes. Don't go there with funky belts. Have a color match of the belt and shoes. Like, I mean, if you're wearing a black shoes, wear a black belt. If you have a brown shoe, try to have a brown belt, or a tan shoe or tan belt. Match your belt and shoes. That shows that you are particular about how you present yourself. Now, discussing about the no-nos. Jeans and t-shirts, big no for your interview, whatever level you are. Doesn't matter if you are a senior person or a junior person or a fresher. Jeans and t-shirt is never for an interview unless it is an informal, the HR tells you that, this is kind of an informal talk, just a discussion, and that too when you're experienced, maybe that too not round neck t-shirts, jeans and plain collar t-shirt, like a golf kind of t-shirt, that is fine. But as a fresher, jeans and t-shirt is a no. Here we are discussing your case, so let's assume that all of you are freshers. all of you have completed final year, and you're getting ready for interviews, and this is where everything gets applicable. Next, go with funky and messy hairstyles. Like I said, if you have long or short hair, doesn't matter, but until it is well groomed, it's fine. But if you have funky or messy hairstyles, you have color on your hair, or you have spikes, or you have some tomahawk or something, that is not recommended. I mean, even if you're skilled, the interviewer will not be interested. I mean, the first impression will be a bad one already, and they will not be willing to spend more time until and unless there is something very special about you. I would say, let's not give them that chance also. You show your skills later, but first you present yourself well. Then goes thick beards. Again, like the green point and the red point, they all like contradicting. So you have a clean shave, don't have a thick beard. Then the sports shoes and Crocs. No, that's also a big no-no. I've seen people in college coming in sports shoes. If they wear a formal properly, then in the bottom they'll have a sports shoe, which is a big disaster in terms of fashion also. So don't do that. Don't have those Crocs also. I know Crocs are comfortable for you, but no. In an interviewer, people like me at least, they will see you top to bottom before even they talk to you. So don't give a chance to judge based on your appearance. Have the green points, when you are dressing yourself. Same goes to women. Absolute formal wear. Now, if you are not comfortable with that formal trousers and shirt, Indian chudidar is absolutely fine. No leggings and kurtis, no crop tops or jeans or t-shirts, stuff like that. But Indian chudidar, cotton dress, to be more specific, neatly ironed is better. Neatly tied hair is again recommended. Don't have just like the funky and hairstyles that I mentioned for men. Don't have that. Then tidy footwear. Obviously, I mean, you're dressing up well. If your footwear is bad, then that's a problem. Then minimal jewelry. Don't show your gold. This is not a marriage. This is just an interview. So minimal jewelry should be fine. Maybe your earrings, one chain, that should be fine. I mean, the more you wear, the risk of theft is also more. So minimal jewelry should be fine. Coming to no-nos, same thing. Jeans and t-shirts is not allowed. Oily hair is a no. I mean, like whatever case you are, if you have like oily hair, I mean, for an interview, it kinds of gives a discomfort to the interviewer also. Skin show, I know what I'm talking. I mean, like I know you all know what I'm talking about. Skin show is not recommended. Bathroom footwear. This also, like, I mean, I took an example from the college only. I mean, there was this one drive where skin show and bathroom footwear, two of them came to the same girl. I mean, like, I was really shocked seeing that kind of attire. I mean, probably she was not serious about the drive, or I don't know. I mean, like, I might be wrong to judge also, but that is not how you show up to an interview. We sent her back. We asked her to dress up properly, and again come back to the interview, or just if you're not interested, just go away. I mean, like, just get out of the college and try for another drive. But uh, these no-nos, you need to remember, don't do this when you're getting yourself ready for the interview. Now I'll quote my example only. I mean, why I should take images from internet. uh, so this is a no. The red t-shirt itself gives out that it's a no. See, if you see, the hair is groomed, that is fine, but the beard is messy, it's thick. Obviously, I'm wearing a t-shirt and a jeans, and definitely not recommended for the interview. I mean, this look is definitely not recommended for an interview. Now, this is one of the latest pictures where you see I'm wearing a proper formal dress. Again, formal as in, it's not that, it's just a formal trouser and some shirt tucked in. That is not a formal wear. The absolute formal wear, when I say absolute, that means you have a plain, neatly ironed shirt, and you have a plain pant. If you see, my belt and shoes are matching with their colors, both are black. Obviously, I mean, my shoes are a little bit untidy, I can say, because that was end of the day. During the night, it was captured, but in the morning, I'm 100% sure it was polished. But yeah, obviously, wear and tear gives out some kind of untidiness. But if you see top to bottom, I'm wearing a proper, absolute formal dress. My beard and hair are also well groomed. They are not messy. I carry a beard, so it is always there. But because, like I mentioned, you are freshers, so get rid of it. I didn't get women examples because I didn't get consent from those people to use their images, so I'm not showing up. But you know what I'm talking about. Plain Indian chudidar, with proper footwear should be fine. Dress up well, to be honest, neatly, not flashy dresses. That should be, well for your attire. Now, before the interview, once your attire thing is done, like you have prepared your attire, let's say, you do that 2 days before the interview, the attire thing. You groom yourself well, get ready with your dress, iron it, fold it properly, and put it aside so you don't have to, get surprises on the day of interview. So after your attire is done, now this thing is to remember before the day of interview. So that gives me three things: points to check with HR, things to carry along, and being on time. These three things are important. Because you're going to an interview, there are some things you might not know. So that's where you need to find out. Like parking details. Let's say you're going to a big IT park. Thousands of vehicles come into place, and you don't know where the parking details are. You keep on asking security. You go round and round in the IT park. You go somewhere. Then security will come and say you should not park here, and you again go back to some other place, and the entire time is wasted in the parking. So rather than that, the HR that is contacting you for the interview, there will be one HR who will be following up with all the necessary details. So that HR you need to ask them where you have to park your vehicle. You might be going in a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. Four-wheeler obviously has to be parked in a proper place. Two-wheeler can go anywhere, but four-wheeler has to be. So in both case, parking detail is important. You find out where should you park once you are into the IT park. If it is a small building, that is okay. There are offices in standalone buildings also, which is very easy to navigate and park. But imagine you're going to a big IT park, that will be difficult. It will be like a maze. You will not even understand where you are exactly. So that's where you find your parking details. Then navigation into the office. So once you have parked your vehicle, how to get into the office, which lobby, which number of which tower, basically which number, which the number of the building number, basically the building number, lobby number. The lifts also carry numbers if it is a big building. So find those things. Navigation into the office means once you're parked, lobby number is clear, lift number is clear, floor number is clear. So once you go there, immediately you are into the office space, and that's how you easily navigate. Then ask for any special topics to prepare on. HR will obviously know what the interviewer is expecting from you when you're going to an interview. So if the HR is friendly, they'll be happy to share what topics, any specific special topics that interviewer might ask, because HR is obviously scheduling multiple interviews with this interviewer, for example. So the HR will know, like what kind of things they are expecting. So this question, if you don't ask, you will not have that edge. Not every candidate will ask. So I would recommend you ask. Ask that if there is any special topics or specific topics that need to be prepared on for this interview. And if the HR knows, they'll be happy to share. And that gives you an edge already. Before even you're going to an interview, you know that there are certain things that interviewer may ask, and you are prepared to answer them. So the candidates that don't ask, they will not know. Suddenly that question comes up and they'll be blank, and they might not interview, they will not answer confidently, and they might lose the points there. Then things to carry along, two copies of resume. This is at least two copies of resume. Sometimes the even four copies are not enough, because different people ask for resume. HR carries one, interviewer will ask for one. Sometimes, not all the time, but at least two copies of resume is recommended. Your notepad and pen. Sometimes the interviewer might have a paper and pen, so they might provide, but why wait for them? Why depend on them? You carry your own notepad and pen. In the last Udyam, Akshay made sure you have a notepad and pen. So, same thing. Carry that bag basically. That bag is helpful. So carry that bag, your notepad and pen, everything that you need for an interview, it's there. You can even put your resume inside that, and have some hand cash because yeah, we are using phone for everything nowadays, but hand cash is hand cash. You never know. I mean, like, you are in you. Let's say you're sitting for the interview, and the HR comes and says that you can have your lunch. Then you go outside somewhere, maybe in the ground floor of the building, or let's say some in the office cafeteria, maybe some in some corner where the signal is completely low. What would you do? So you can't, you don't know anybody there. Obviously, you don't have friends there. So in that case, hand cash will be useful. So carry it. It's okay. It's 100 rupees or 200 rupees, doesn't matter. But carry hand cash. Then have comb and mouth freshener also. Mouth freshener could be chewing gum, that's okay. But spit out your chewing gum before going to the interview. Have your comb also because, like I said, well groomed is needed. So even if you're grooming well in your house, once you wear a helmet or if you tie a scarf, mainly for women, so all the hair gets messy. So carry your comb. Once you get into the office, immediately go to the washroom and groom yourself and come out. Have a mouth freshener also because if it gets too late in the day, I mean, like, obviously you're tired, your breath might, the smell of your breath can change. So have a mouth freshener. Don't the interview room might be small, so even if you just speak some words, your breath might be, the smell of your breath might be coming out. So have a mouth freshener. This is, I mean, like, again, optional, but better to have. Then being on time, yeah, because it's an interview, it is not some leisure time, right? So reach the place at least 10 minutes before the reporting time. Reporting time will be given by HR. So if it is 10 a.m., be there by 9:45, 9:50 a.m. Start early to avoid unforeseen events. I mean, just because you can ride fast, I mean, you might consider yourself as a self-proclaimed, racer, and you might think, yeah, I can cover that distance in 20 minutes. Suddenly, there is a huge traffic jam. Even the best rider in you also cannot get past that traffic jam. So that's where you would get late, unnecessarily giving the interviewer a negative impression. So it's better to start early. I mean, it's your interview. Don't take a risk. Start early to avoid these kind of events. And most importantly, even if you're getting late, drive safe. Don't let your timing be a reason to put yourself in risk. Now, being said, having said that, what if you are not doing all these things? What if you're not being on time? What if you forget something? So that's what if you're running late? What if you're falling sick on interview day? These are possible. It's not like, you're fine today, but tomorrow you might have fever. Tomorrow morning when you get up, you might get up with a stomach ache. You might get up with cold and cough. So in that case, what should you do? I mean, like, you might not be able to give the interview. So if you're running late, what you should do is, like, let's say, for example, the office is in Cyber Towers, okay, and the reporting time is 9:45. At 9:40, you are at JNTU. There is no way in 5 minutes you will cover that distance in that time, okay? So you stop at JNTU. You know that you're getting late. Call the HR. Tell sorry to them that you're getting late. There is like a lot of traffic on the road, and even though I started early, still running late, and I wanted to let you know. And tell them that, I mean, if you use maps, then you will have an ETA. So tell them how much time you will take to reach the office, and uh, give that courtesy to them. So that way they will also have, a small soft corner on you, that you have tried, but the situations around you have not let you, do this on time. So they will have a soft corner. They will let the interviewer know that you're running late because of so and so reason, and the interviewer also be okay, fine, that's okay, this is expected. Is usual thing, only happens to us also, and they will, be okay even if you're late on that day. I mean, like, when you apologize, the opposite person obviously feels sympathized, on you. If you don't, I mean, like, that is, I mean, usual habit of this team, to not update people very frequently, that you have to be asked for an update. Like, if I want an update, I have to point out that person what's going on, why this is going on, and then you will reply. This is not at all recommended, because it's your interview. You have to carry responsibility. Nobody will do it for you. The HR won't call and ask you where are you and all those things. You have to take charge. You have to take ownership, and you have to do it. If in a case where you are not doing this, even if you're, some, what do you say, let's say future Bill Gates, okay, this interview is not for you. This interview is failed. Okay, next interview might be good, but this interview is failed because you have not shown the courtesy to tell them that you're late. And like, let's say the reporting time is 10 and you reach, you know yeah, sorry, I was saying 9:45, right? Yeah, reporting time is 9:45 and you reach at 10. There are chances the HR might ask you to go back because there are other people also ready for the interview. I mean, like, why they should consider you as special when you're late, right? So don't. If you're late, then immediately call them, apologize, and tell them how much time it will take for you to reach their office. Now, what if you fall sick on the interview day? For some reason, let's say you're, you get up with a fever. Don't just, go back to sleep. Call them immediately. Ask them to reschedule. Request them, actually, not even ask. Request them that you are not well today, and request them to reschedule at the next earliest slot. Because you're not well, obviously the HR is having a brain, so they will at least give you 3 days for recovery. So they will ask you if, the fourth or fifth day is okay from today, and you tell them when it should be okay, and based on that they'll schedule. Now let's say on Monday, today is Monday, you fell sick on Monday. You said Friday should be fine, and again on Friday for some reason you're not able to, then forget about that interview. Okay, you can try to ask them to reschedule, but chances are they will not follow you up, and highly there are chances they will not even give you that chance. So don't. I mean, like, if they are giving an option for you to, reschedule on fourth or fifth day. If you think that 5 days is also not enough for you to recover, then ask them to schedule next week. So that is a lot of time, but because you're asking it only once, it should be fine. Okay, I mean, I have done that, not as a fresher, but after having the experience only, I have done that. But like I said, when you ask twice, it becomes a problem. So don't do that. Just ask for once, and if you reschedule it again and again, that's it. Forget about the interview. Now, once those things are done, this is also, again, I mean, this you can do, once your interview is scheduled. This does not need to be done just one day before the interview. It's not necessary. Research is research. When you do your homework, obviously you will know more better than the other candidates. So, you know, when you're going to an interview, research on, be a Sherlock and research the company first. Obviously, every genuine company will have a website which is active and updated. So go to their website, try to read about what they are doing, what kind of products they are providing, what kind of services they are providing to the clients, what kind of products they own. What are their goals. Later, they put that information in their website. You just have to search for it and research their goals. Like I said, you will know what direction they are trying to go, based on their site, based on their contributions and achievements. So then read about the readership. It should be every company website will have an about us column. So go to that and see what their readership are. I mean, what are their profiles? Investigate on them. You see the icon in the right side. That is the investigator icon with a magnifier. So investigate whatever you can on the leadership. I mean, once you get their names, Google them, see their profile, what kind of people they are, what are their achievements, what is their background, all that stuff. Then find out the locations of the company. I mean, if there is a situation where they ask you to relocate, then you know assuming that you get into the company, you work there, you like the work there, you like the company, and they ask you to relocate, so will you be okay to relocate, or should you give them reasons not to relocate? But know the locations. I mean, you will also know what kind of locations this is being the company is serving, and check for the employee volume. I mean, obviously you should know the company. I mean, like how big the company is in terms of headcount. So check for employee volume. I mean, again, this is your research. Sometimes the employee volume is directly given away in the website, but sometimes it's not. So you have to check for other sites also. There are many sites which give details on the company. So you have to see. I mean, like you know how to investigate. So do that. Then check for employee feedbacks also. Obviously, this is important. You need to know what kind of company you're going into. So Glassdoor has always been an evergreen website to know about employee feedback. So you can depend on Glassdoor, but if there are other sites, you can definitely visit them and check what kind of feedbacks employees have given there who have worked for a longer time. Then news articles. I mean, if it is a public company, there will definitely be news articles on it. So see what kind of news they have, what kind of publishing they have done, what kind of ads they have let the newspapers print. Newspapers as in news agencies, not just papers. The news articles are obviously online. So see what kind of information they share to media. You will get an idea. I mean, like, let's say, in the interviewer suddenly asks you, like, what kind of, I mean, like, do you read news? So, what did you read about our company? And if you read these articles, you will know about it. In fact, if you remember, I'm sure everybody that I interviewed, I've asked, what do you know about SPECANCIENS back then in your interview? I've asked you, what do you know about SPECANCIENS? Where did you find information? So, I mean, like that question is the same thing here. I mean, like when you do your research, you will be able to answer. If you don't do, you will not answer. And those who have done that research, like I mean, that answer itself gave us a very positive impression in the beginning. Then the later the different assessments, they have I mean, like they have let the result differ, but at least we felt happy that you are researching before you coming to an interview. Same thing goes here also in the professional interview. I mean, this you have to do. Spec Engines interview, there is nobody who told you how to, prepare before this interview. But here I am telling you how to prepare before the corporate interview. Then read about mergers or acquisitions. I mean, there are a lot of companies which go through mergers or acquisitions, and based on mergers or acquisitions, there are a lot of things that change around the company because once a company gets acquired, the company that has acquired this the company, let's say A and B are there. B is acquiring A, so B is the owner now. So whatever rules that have been followed in A might change because it is going to be. So learn about that also. Like I mean, how things changed after mergers and acquisitions. It will be there. Public information. It should be there. So learn that. I mean, you will know the nature, the work culture also. Then yeah, Chai Bandi investigation. This is something nobody talks about, but you know, if you have that kind of scope and time, every company, there is a Chai Bandi for every company. Okay, it's not written on the Chai Bandi, but every company will have a dedicated Chai Bandi. Like as in that is not sponsored by the company, but the employees of that company go to that kind of chai bandi only. Okay. So see for a chai bandi near that company, or if it is an IT park, maybe outside the IT park, check for chai bandi. Go there. Obviously, they'll be wearing ID cards. Every software employee, or let's say every corporate employee, has a a fantasy to show their ID card. So they'll be wearing ID card. Check for the company name. It will be on the tag, just like you have in your SPECANCIENS ID card. It will be on the tag. The company name will be on the tag. And slowly approach them that you have applied for this company and you have an interview, and uh, ask them what kind of company this is, what kind of changes have been done in the recent times. Should I mean like what kind of scope do freshers have when they get into the company? Stuff like that. I mean that's chai band investigation is where you have to be present. The all the points that were above chai band investigation is online. I mean you can do it in your laptop or phone also, but chai bandi is something you have to go there. You have to go there and try to find out. I mean, if let's say at least for me, like I mean, I have not done chai bandi investigation to be honest, because this is just my second company. But let's say if I go to Microsoft, for example, okay, I have heard mixed reviews on work culture in Microsoft. Now, which is true, which is false, it depends on the perception. I mean, there are some employees who have loved the work there. There are some employees who did not like. So I need to, if I'm going to Microsoft, I need to do this chai band investigation. Most Microsoft employees might not come out for chai, but it's still possible. I mean, if you have that investigator instinct in you, you will still find out. So try to do that. Now, till now we discussed what should you do before the interview. So that was attire. Uh, you know, um, what was it? Attire, and then you know things to check with HR. Let's say prerequisites, right? So prerequisites, and then the research. That was before the interview. Now once you have done all this, you're ready. On the interview day. So as soon as you get into the company, there might be people shaking your hand. So let's say you are being like let's say the handshakes are done by multiple people. Now that is also a way to find out what kind of body language you carry. So the handshake gives out a small indication of what kind of confidence or what kind of body language you possess. Although handshake is not mandatory in every office, but there are some people who try this. You will not even know that they have tested you that way. So, but because I have been in that situation where suddenly I had four people doing handshake. I mean, I didn't even know who are they, but they were like, yeah, hi Shireesh, and I was like, "Oh, what is going on?" But later I learned, okay, that was a part of a test for body language. So the icon shows that is the right way of shaking hands. Like, I mean, you just go into the hand of the opposite person, not giving out this top hand or some like a high five or something. No fist bumps, nothing like that. Okay, so just do a military handshake, which is just sliding into their hand correctly and locking your hand on their hand. Okay. So once you're doing that handshake, have eye contact. I mean, don't look here and there and then do the handshake. Have a confident approach. I mean, don't just just beat their hand. Don't do it very fast. Just have a confident, slow, firm approach. That firm and military handshake is exactly what it is called. How the army officers shake hands. I mean, if you have seen, or maybe try to see it in YouTube. I mean, or if you have a army person with you, maybe that is more army or let's say defense person, then it's more relevant for you. I mean, you can have like a practical examination, but see for that. I mean, how army officers shake their hands, you will know how confidently how they see the opposite person's eyes. you'll have a good example on how they are doing it. Then once you shake the hand, like hold for 2 or 3 seconds. Don't just, once you shake immediately, don't just remove it. I mean, that shows your confidence that you are ready for challenges here. Now, no nos while shaking hands, because it's your interview. You might feel like you should please the interviewer, or you must please the HR, or you must be like, don't do that. Don't use both hands for shaking. I mean, you might have seen people using both hands for shaking when they are mainly meeting elder people or people in power, maybe politicians, or people like that. Don't do that. Interviewer or HR would not like it. I mean, they should not feel like you're pleasing them. They should feel you're confident for the challenge. And don't squeeze their palm. I mean, like, if you shake their hand, don't just do all these things. Okay, I mean, I hope you're seeing the video also. But don't squeeze their palm. There are some people, I don't know why they shake their hands. So once they touch the hand, and immediately they'll remove their hand like a touch me not plant. So don't do that. I mean, if you're shaking hands, if you're giving a handshake, do it properly. Don't just do it because you have to do it. No, do it properly. I mean, have that purpose. Then don't shake it like you are ripping their shoulder. I mean, some people, they are excited, and they shake so energetically that it feels like this hand might rip off from here. Okay, so don't do that. Now, most important point, I mean, we have discussed how to do a handshake, how not to do a handshake, but before that, remember that you have to wait for the elder person to first initiate a handshake. Now, not every interview might involve a handshake, because there are some interviews where the HR meets you in the lobby. Then they will directly ask you to follow them, and they'll take you to the interviewer who is sitting in a chair with a 4 feet table in front of them. Now, in that case, there is no need, probably no need of a handshake. But there are some interviews where, the HR meets, and they'll first give you a handshake. Then there is some other person who will give you a handshake. Even the interviewer, maybe if he or she is walking with you, maybe they will initiate for a handshake. But that's the thing. You wait for the elder person to initiate a handshake, because not everybody is wanting to give you a handshake. It depends. Depends on the person's mindset. They may be comfortable with a handshake. They may not be comfortable with a handshake. But you don't initiate it. I mean, if you initiate it, it becomes awkward for people who are not ready to give a handshake. Okay, because you're the younger person here. You don't initiate it. Let the elder person do it. Okay, that way you will also feel confident that okay, now that the other person initiated, you do a proper handshake. Don't fail your opportunity there. Now next comes body language. You might have got a doubt. I mean, handshake and body language must be same, but no, handshake is just involved with the hand and eyes, but body language is the entire thing. So body language, I feel body language is separate from the handshake, although it's part of body language, but this is an entire different topic to discuss on. So first goes with the sitting posture. Obviously, every interview will be in a sitting posture only. I mean, like, there are few interviews where people have chosen to walk around while talking to you, but that's more like a discussion. Let's assume this is a technical interview. Technical interview can't be done that way. So technical interview, you have to sit and talk, maybe read and write also. So that's the correct sitting position for an interview. You have your chair properly set, then you completely stick your back against the against the chair, then sit straight. Don't just lean in, or don't just completely go back, because the chair is flexible, doesn't mean you have to do it. Then have your hands on your lap, or else on the sides of the chair. Like my chair has this side arms, so I'm resting here. Like you can, if I'm sitting in interview, I would sit like this if needed. Or else, in worst case scenario, if I don't have that, then just rest your hand on your lap. If you don't have this side arm, just a plain chair is given to you, then do it. But don't put it on their table like this. Don't rest on their table. Don't do that when you're sitting. Maybe if they ask you to write something, you have to obviously have to put your hand on the table. That's okay. But while you're sitting, don't do that. Don't just rest your hand on the table because it is reachable. Okay. Right. That's what I discussed. Sitting straight, maintain eye contact until you are asked to read or write something. I mean, obviously, if you are reading or writing something, you have to focus on your table, the paper, or whatever you're given. But until then, have eye contact. Don't, look here and there while talking. Have a clear voice and a low tone because you're in a silent background. There will be literally no noise around you. Like even if you're sitting quietly, even they can hear your breath. Like the inhale and exhale will also be audible. Okay, so it will be that silent in an office environment. So that's why have a clear voice and a low tone. Then have a positive attitude with a smile. Now smiling as in not like every answer you say, let's say what's your name, Sirish. No, don't do that. Okay, whatever you answer, don't just show your teeth. Just have a smile. I mean, like my name is Sirish. That's okay. Okay, so a slight smile with a positive attitude. You know how to do it. I mean, like you know what's positive, what's negative. So carry that. Then, like I said, hands on side of a chair or on your lap. If you have a side arm, you can do that, or just let's rest on your lap, but don't put your hands elsewhere. Both feet on the floor. Uh, like when you're sitting, adjust your chair height in such a way that both feet are on the floor. And also, if the chair is adjustable, then adjust in such a way that you're comfortable with the height also. Like some of you might be tall, and sitting in a chair that is completely low might give you discomfort. Initially it might be fine, but let's say the interview goes on for 1 hour, then adjusting in middle of the interview, that is all not recommended. When the interviewer asks you to sit on the chair, obviously I mean like you have to just be grateful, grateful for that opportunity, and just sit and adjust your chair and just feel good there. Okay. Now, like I said, don't lean too backward or forward. Don't cross your legs. Cross your legs as in, just putting one leg on your other leg and sitting like some, dada. No, not do that. Adjusting your hair repeatedly. This is something, I mean, like, obviously the interviewer is looking at you. They will observe everything. They will observe your eye movement. They'll observe where your hands are going, how your, hair is, if you're adjusting your hair. Some people they just can't leave their hair. They will adjust their hair every 2 seconds, 3 seconds. They'll be like, they'll do this, all they'll do this, they'll do this kind of things. Okay, don't do that in an interview. Okay. Hands on face also, like I mean, every time just scratching somewhere, and don't do those things. Okay. Making sound with shoes, like I said, it's a silent environment. Even a slight sound will also be audible, so don't, I mean, like some people have a habit to shake their legs while talking. Don't do that. Just sit firm and calm, and that should be fine. Looking away while speaking, like I said, look in the interviewer's eyes while you're answering. Don't look here and there. I mean, like, once they ask some question and you start thinking, suddenly you will, looking to the sky. I mean, like as if the answer is present there. You will be like, oh yeah, I think I remember that. And, don't do that. I mean, if you don't know, that's okay to say don't know, but don't do all those things. I mean, this is not a Viva round where, you can suddenly act and get some, answer. No, don't do that. If you know the answer, you will know the answer. You need to answer that confidently, but don't look away while speaking. Don't look here and there. Don't look the surroundings. You might have that excitement. I mean, this is an office, and you might want to cover each and every corner, but don't do that when your interview. Once your interview is done, maybe you can do that. Yeah. So in the interview, not just in interview, in the life also, honesty is needed, and in interview it is definitely more needed. So you know uh, when you're in the interview, listen to the interview carefully. I mean, like whatever they are saying, first listen to them. You know, if they ask a question, listen carefully. If you think that their question was not understandable, or maybe their voice was low, or this case happens maybe when you are doing a telephonic round. But yeah, this interview, I mean, like whatever I spoke so far, this is applicable for both online and face-to-face interview, but more applicable for face-to-face because we are talking about body language. Even in telephonic also, they'll ask you to switch on your video. There again, they will observe how you're moving, how you are talking. Just like, I mean, if you remember, your SPECANCIENS telephonic also was via video conference. We asked you to turn on your video. That was not because we want to see your beautiful face or something. We want to see, how you are prepared for that interview. So, you know, this applies for both. Just whatever points I discussed, you see where it applies. Like I said, it more applies for face-to-face interview, but a lot of these points also apply for telephonic. I mean, if they ask you to do a video conference, that means all of these points mostly apply. Just that you're not physically present there doesn't mean you can ignore these points. Okay, even then, if a video conference also, you need to groom yourself, you need to have a clean shave, you need to, dress up well. I mean, let's say your camera covers until your stomach area. So if you're wearing a round neck t-shirt, that is not acceptable in the interview. You wear a formal shirt, it's okay. Just like those news anchors, they wear a formal shirt, tie and blazer, but in the bottom they'll have a track pant because that area is not shown in the TV, right? The table covers their bottom. The same way in the video conference also, have your upper body with the formal shirt. Doesn't matter what you're wearing down, but in the face to face, make sure all those points are followed. Now coming back, to the honesty thing, like we deviated from the topic because we were discussing the second point. So that feel free to request interviewer to repeat the question, because if you don't hear that properly, chances are you might start answering in the wrong way. So rather than that, if you have not listened to it properly, then ask them, can you pardon me, but can you please repeat the question? This is the exact line what I want you to tell when you want the interviewer to repeat the question. Just don't say that, sorry, I did not hear you properly. Can you please repeat? No, that doesn't sound like a viable approach. Pardon me is better. Pardon, can you please repeat the question? Simple request. Okay. And one when they ask something suddenly, there are chances, because you have prepared so much for this interview. You have too many thoughts running in your brain. So there are chances you might get lost. Suddenly you are thinking about something in the middle of the interview. It happens. I mean, you're a human. It happens. Okay. So whenever you feel such kind of thing, just pause for 2 seconds, think, and again talk. Okay, that 2 seconds will not feel like you're delaying something. Okay, it's okay to pause and like drink some water. Maybe ask the interviewer some permission to, they will have a bottle anyway. You will have a small bottle, or they will have a bottle, or better to carry your own bottle. That's okay. But ask them, like, I mean, I would like to drink some water. May I? The interviewer will not say no to that. Okay, they are also human. They know, you might feel nervous, or you might, they understand. As an interviewer, I also understood. As an interview, I also felt nervous. So that is understandable, that situation. Nobody will tell you you should not drink, or not do anything in this time. So it's okay. Take some time, drink water, and again get back to it. But don't be afraid, for that. Which again brings me to the next point. Don't be afraid to say I don't know. Now there are some people, like everywhere, where they don't want to admit that they don't know. Okay, everybody knows. I mean, at some point of time, everybody knows that they don't know the answer for this. The interviewer mainly will be able to figure out that you don't know the answer, but you're trying to blabber something. Okay, but don't do that. If you don't know, say I don't know. I mean, like, they ask a question. Let's say They ask something about, generally they want to test your general knowledge, and they ask you who is the Prime Minister of France. Suddenly it doesn't pop up in your mind. Just be casual and say, sorry, I don't recollect, so you don't know about it, so that's okay. Don't try to think and say Narendra Modi. Okay, that's wrong answer and big disaster actually there, so don't do that. Then again, answer honestly. I mean, whatever question they ask, whether it's technical, whether it's moral, whether it's calculative, answer honestly. I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. That's it. There is no other, ifs and buts in the interview. No making up for answers. Okay. This is a no-no because we are talking about honesty there. Like I said, when they ask something, you pretend to think, you look away somewhere, and you waste time. Don't do that. The interviewer will get a negative thought about you. They will know that you are trying to waste time here. Then lying and making up your answer. Don't do that. I mean, this is not you know uh, that JNTU paper where you feel like you should write some valid points in the beginning and then you can write some story in the middle and just to fill your pages. No, that is not the concept here. The interviewer will definitely know you're making up your answer. So don't do that. Not admitting to fault when interviewer points out. Like I said, there are some people who don't like to admit that they don't know or don't like to admit that they are wrong. Don't be that. It's okay. The interviewer definitely knows more than you at that point. So the interviewer is having an upper hand. The interviewer is in charge of that situation. So if the interviewer says that something is wrong and you don't know about it, so just leave it there. Okay, don't argue with them. Yeah, you can argue if you have evidence. Okay, there are some instances where just because you're an elder person, just because you're experienced, doesn't mean you know everything, right? So there are some instances where the interviewer might actually be wrong and say that it's wrong on your end also, but you know the right answer and you have concrete evidence on it. Then you can definitely put it in a positive way. Not, don't argue, but say that I have read about this and I feel that this might be the right answer, although you're pointing that it's wrong, but I feel this is the right answer. So I would recommend, I mean, recommend to check the facts. I don't want to argue, but I would recommend to check the facts. I mean, this is giving a subtle feeling that, you are confident about your answer. You are asking the interviewer to verify the facts. And if they verify, let's say if they tend to verify, then they will also be humbled that, okay, you are right. And that again gives bonus points. But when you don't know, just leave it. Okay, don't argue. Then sorry stories, like let's say one interviewer suddenly asks you some skill set that you have no idea about, but it is there in your curriculum, in the engineering curriculum. Now you will be like, no sir, my faculty didn't teach me well. We were not cared about that in the semester. Lot of faculties changed and we were not able to grasp that topic. No, don't give any sorry stories. They ask and you don't know, just say I don't know. Then talking bad about college or previous employer. Previous employer is for experienced, but college is for you. So don't. I mean, like they will test you on this also. I mean, they will see if you are, if you are easily manipulated. So they will wantedly ask you, do you like your college? Or do you not like your college? So if you like, why do you like? If you don't like, why don't you like? Then they will ask you to give reasons. Then they will only focus on those things which you said negative. They'll forget about positive points. They'll focus on what you said as negative, and they'll make the conversation in such a way that you talk bad about college, and then they will be like, okay, if this person is manipulated, then they will talk bad about college today. Tomorrow they will talk bad about our company also. Or tomorrow they will talk bad about their manager, their team, everybody basically. When you're manipulated, they might feel that you will, be easily putting bad points about them also. So don't do that. I mean, they will test you. You need to know. You need to remember and find out. that okay, these people are testing me, and you need to be in that control about not blabbering, those things. Probably you can say like, let's say they ask you, in fact, in one of the interviews for me, at least, when I was switching the job, they asked, one of the interviewer asked me like, what's the opinion on my previous employer? And I said, it was fine, and it was fine. I said some positive points. Then they were like, why I thought of changing. I mean, why I'm thinking of leaving that employer. And like, I mean, this is again to bring out the bad, points. But I said, I knew that trick. Okay. So I said, no, I'm just looking for a change. I'm looking to, grow in terms of skill set and professional experience. So I'm looking for a change. I mean, it's not like I don't like the previous employer, but I'm looking for a change, and that change would only happen if I'm changing the entire environment around me. So that's why I'm trying to change. So this answer doesn't give them chance to again extend the conversation about talking bad. So that was just an example, but you figure out. I mean, if they, let's say they ask something bad about something, they ask you in such a way that you talk bad, then you should not do it actually. Okay, don't fall to that trap. And obviously, honesty is the best policy. I mean, you know, be honest, whether it's interview or your life, doesn't matter, but be honest as much as you can. And yeah, there are situations where you might lie, but that's okay. I mean, like, until you're majorly honest, it should not be a problem. Now, you have, let's say your body language is done, then your honesty is in place, your body language is proper, honesty is in place, you're talking well. Now, if you can't market yourself, then what's the point of the interview? And marketing, as in, this is not, the actual literal marketing. No, that's not the case. This is more of, trying to reveal your positive, accomplishments while you are talking. So when you're coming to an interview, uh, be prepared with your examples about achievements and contributions. Now this could be your paper presentations, your hackathons, your some technical course completions, whatever that helps your profile. You know, be prepared with examples. I mean, suddenly the interview, I mean, like the interviewer suddenly checks your resume and they feel like, okay, this point looks interesting. Let's ask about them. And they'll ask you like, okay, what did you do in this hackathon? And if you're not able to explain that, then they'll be like, okay, this is actually, I mean, this person has not done anything, but just, put their achievement in this resume. I mean, there are instances where, let's say, you're a team of five and you're that person who has contributed very less. So in that case, you will not be able to explain suddenly when they ask. Rather, even if you're that person, it's okay. The way you present yourself matters. So come with concrete examples. Tell them, proper examples on your achievements and contributions, and it should be fine. I mean, if they read your resume, obviously they'll be interested on what you have achieved so far. So be prepared with those examples also. I mean, give them example of the achievement, to give them example on what you contributed. Be ready to talk about that. Okay, don't just prepare about the technical stack and be done with it. No, you have to prepare for your entire resume, word to word. Whatever you put in your resume, questions may come around it. So if you put about an achievement, get ready to talk about that. If you put about some educational gap, get ready to talk about that also. Then practice presenting yourself. This you have to do in front of the mirror. Okay, in mirror, or maybe you can do it in your front camera, phone front camera. Record how you are talking. You know, record yourself. I mean, like, how your eye movement is, how your hand movement is, how your tone changes when you talk something. Is it low tone? Is it high tone? See, how you have to modulate your voice. Uh, see how you're delivering this the dialogue basically. So do that. I mean, you can do it in front of your mirror, up to you. Or else, if you think you have to check again, you have to see where the mistakes are, where it is good, then best to record it in your front cam. Okay, but practice before the interview. I mean, like, this has to be, I mean, like, that practice you have to do before the interview, but presenting obviously you have to do during the interview. So I put this point here because this comes in the marketing stuff. So if you practice, you can market well, right? So practice it. More than, like, I would say, if before your interview, at least do it twice. You will know. But before that also, there are some things anyway will be asked in interview. Like, for example, uh, can you tell us about yourself? That is a very common question. That is the first question anybody will ask in an interview after you are settled. So when you're answering that, they will look at your resume. That is usual habit of interviewers. So that they will look at your resume. They'll suddenly look at you also. You might feel that they are not listening, but their ears are obviously listening. So practice that. Then convince without convincing. Now, I'll not try to explain this much because the line speaks for itself. I mean, you have to convince them that you're very good at what you do, but it should not look like you're convincing them. I mean, it should not sound like that. You have to convince in such a way that your presentation, your the way you talk, the way you tell things, the way you think, your thought process, those things should convince them. That is what I call as convince without convincing. Don't ask them, sir, please, sir, give me this job. No, that is convincing. Literally convincing, basically. Okay, and that is actually more than convincing. It's more like you're asking, or very in very literal terms, begging. Don't do that. Now, I said that you come prepared with your achievements and contributions, but that doesn't mean you have to brag about your achievements. You should not be like, I was the only one in the whole college to get that prize. No, don't do that. You tell that you got that prize, but don't say that you're the only one. I mean, like, it should not look like only I can do this. Okay, you should be like, anyone can do this, but I got this time. Okay, that is the concept you have to carry. Don't be like, I was the only one who got this. And don't talk like, you have achieved the biggest achievement in the college. No, don't do that. Even though you did, that's okay. Even though you won amongst 300 400 people, it's okay, but don't brag about it. I mean, that shows your if you brag about it, that shows a negative mindset. Okay, so don't do that. You tell them that you achieved it, it's okay, but don't brag about it. There is a thin difference between telling and bragging. Okay, then don't act desperate. Like I said, please give me this job. I need this job anyway. I mean, I faced people who literally told me that when I was interviewing them. Like, I mean, I felt sorry also, but I felt that is not the right way to tell. In fact, I told them that this is not how it works in corporate. I mean, you should not even tell that. You should not tell that, tell that to the interviewer to give you this job. That is not suggestible. So don't act desperate. Whatever it is, I mean, if that interview, that job was for you, it will definitely, you know, get. I mean, like, it will definitely reach to you. But if not, just leave it, move on. I mean, if you have prepared well, if you are talking well, that should do half the job. But don't act desperate. I mean, the interview will definitely will know that you're acting desperate. I mean, you're kind of ready to do anything, ready to say anything to get this job. Don't give them that chance. Then overconfidence, obviously. I mean, if you're bragging about your achievements, that also shows you're overconfident about it. Very negative trait. So don't, I mean, you guys must have heard this a lot of time. Small difference between confidence and overconfidence. So show confidence, very good. Overconfidence is a big no. Then loud mouth. Yeah, there are some people, who have a loud voice, but in an interview environment, that voice is not needed. Okay, in public you shout, no problem. But in the you know interview, loudmouth is not recommended. I mean, you talk slowly. You, like I said in the previous slides, you have a clear voice and a low tone, that is recommended, right? So if you shout and if you like you have a high voice and you shout, and the interviewer might feel discomfort. I mean, like, they are not used to it. I mean, like, that situation is all gone. Okay, in college you might be a person, you might have, in fact, people might have even told you that your voice is too powerful. You just, if you just call them, they'll once you call, they will, people will come running to you. That is not needed in the interview. Okay, so interview, you calm and composed, that kind of voice is needed. Now that was for during the interview. Now that you uh, have the handshake, body language, honesty, and marketing. So those four elements will, whatever that was said there, if you follow them, at least during the interview, there will always be a positive outlook. Now, after the interview, once the interview is done, you, like, the interviewer said that, okay, I'm done with my questions. So do you have any? That question will definitely come. If the interviewer is interested in your profile, that question will definitely come to you. If they are not interested, let's say, that is one of those small gestures where, if they don't ask questions to you after the interview, they are not interested in your profile. Okay, remember that. That's a small gesture you might miss. You might think that you have done very well, but for some reason they are not ready to extend the time. That's it. It gives out a small gesture that they are not interested in your profile. But again, not every time. There are sometimes, where they, let's say, they scheduled interview for 45 minutes, and it's the 44th minute that is running, and they just want to end it on time because they have another thing to take care of. In that case also, they will not ask questions, but that doesn't mean that they are not interested in your profile. And one more thing, actually, I forgot to mention. Let's say, the interview is, let's say, if it is scheduled, and let's say for half an hour they have scheduled an interview. um, for some reason they edit in 10 minutes. uh, Consider it's a negative feedback. Okay, I mean, they don't want to waste time on you. They know that you're not the correct candidate, and they'll just end it quickly and they'll send you back. Now you might feel that I was not asked too many questions, you might feel happy about it, but no, if they are interested in your profile, if they feel that your mindset, your attitude, your skill set, everything is on point, then they will have the interview until the scheduled time. I mean, like, if it is half an hour, they'll try to have it for half an hour. They'll try talk to you more. They'll try to know more about you. But let's say after the interview, they ask for a question. Like, they ask you questions, and you will be like, no, sir, I don't have any question. Again, that gives out, even though the interview was very fine, that gives out again a negative kind of impression. I mean, like, they expect a question from you, which I'll reveal. Even I observed in the SPECANCIENS interviews also, there are a lot of people who, when we gave them chance to ask a question, they were like, no, sir, I don't have any question. There are some people who asked. Okay, now I'll not point out anybody, but whether you asked a question to us or not, but we expect a question definitely. I mean, like, we want to know that you're curious, right? So one of those questions is, in the corporate interview, what will be the expectations if I'm selected? This gives out a small feeling to the interviewer that you are confident that you might get selected, and that while they are leaving the interview room, they will carry that impression on you, and chances are that they might give you that opportunity, even though like, a candidate is slightly better than you. Okay, and that better candidate has probably not asked a question. They will not leave that impression, right? So ask that question. I mean, this first question is definitely expected when they finish an interview. So remember that. I mean, you definitely have to ask this question. Don't just say that you don't have a question and leave. No, don't do that. I gave you a, let's say, pro tip or a secret, whatever you want to call it, but this question is needed there. You need to ask. Okay. Then once that is answered, if they talk about skills already in that question, then second question is not needed. But let's say when one of the candidates asked me in the interview, I was like, yeah, if you are selected, your role would be a junior engineer, and your work will be on financial domain, and yeah, you will be fed with responsibilities. There will be some, because you're a junior engineer, you will have some responsibilities only. A senior engineer will overlook your work, is what I'll say. Let's say, for example, I said that. Now here I didn't talk about any skills. So then you ask the second question. So you ask them that, is there any specific skills that you need to learn? Although you mentioned in the resume, there might be something that before you join the job. Like, I mean, they might want you to learn. All Some people might tell you, I mean, like, when the HR is like, again, the final discussion, they might want to tell you, but that will again take some time. So instead, if you ask the interviewer that I mean, like, if there is any specific thing to learn regarding the work in this company, that also give a positive impression that you are hungry to learn things. I mean, like, you are ready to take up those skills, and you're getting ready for this job. That also again gives them a very positive impression. uh, Gives an edge to you also, because for them it's like the candidate is very eager and energetic, enthusiastic on this job, and they want such candidates only. They don't want people who are like always lazy and silent, and they just do what they are told to. They don't want such people. They want people who are like ready to jump on situations, ready to learn, ready to do anything, like, so this question, it will be a follow-up question for the first one. Okay, I'll give only two questions, because that's the only time that you will have to ask. Okay, you can't ask five, six questions. No, you can't do that. It's like the last part of the interview. So one or two questions is the max. Okay, so mostly it will be ended with the first question only. But in case skills are not spoken, then ask them what you have to learn in case you're selected. Okay, the chance are they might tell you will be trained on the so and so things, but why not learn about them before they train? I mean, when they train, you will have like more like you already know some things about that uh, technology, and you can start on the terminology, and they'll again be impressed with you. I mean, like, you already have done your homework, so that way leaves a positive impression. Now these are no questions. Like, I mean, in your first interview, don't ask about salaries. Okay, uh, that salary thing will, I mean, like, if you already know the package before the interview is set. I mean, there are some job requirements where they mention that you will receive 6 LPA, 8 LPA, 10 LPA. That's okay. But if they don't mention, don't ask the interviewer how much salary you will get if you get this job. No, don't. That is not the question he's expecting, he or she is expecting. So don't ask that. Okay, I mean, if you're into this job anyway, the HR will like later call you and discuss about salary, but that is not to be asked to the interviewer. Okay, then seeking immediate feedback. I had so many people while taking spec engine interviews only. Like, when I ask them, like, if you have any question, they will be like, Anna, how did I give the interview? Did I tell nicely? Was I good? Will I get selected? No, I was not hoping that. I mean, I was not expecting that question. I told them very, like, straightforward. I told them that no, that is something I can't answer. Okay, if you want feedback, then you reach out separately, but this is not the time to discuss about those things. And definitely, I'll not tell you whether you're selected or not right now. So don't seek for immediate feedback. Then yeah, there are people, like, I ask a question, as an interviewer and you are not able to answer. Okay, now they'll remember that question because they have not answered it. Then in the end they will start asking like, okay sir, you asked this question, what is the answer to it? No, don't do that. Okay, you Google, you remember the question, right? So after you come out of the interview, Google and check for the answer, but don't ask the interviewer. Okay, and then wasting time with unwanted discussions. Yeah, some people, I mean, they get too friendly. So and they want to discuss. Like they'll be like, if I become friend with this interviewer, he will give me a job. So don't be in that concept. Okay, don't waste their time with unnecessary discussions. Just ask what is necessary and leave. Then because you have an email about the interview schedule, once your interview is done, just send a thank you note to the HR in the interview. I mean, like if you know the interviewer's email ID, if it is present in your email details, then just send a thank you note that you have, that they have given this opportunity. Again, I mean, like even though you don't get a job, there is some kind of courtesy that you show, right? Then feedback. Most company HRs, they'll seek feedback of their process. I mean, like they just want to know what the candidate thinks and they might want to improve. Just like you guys take feedback of people when the session is completed or any workshop is completed. You also take feedbacks, right? The same thing. So don't ignore it. I mean, chances are that let's say for some reason you did not get that job, but the HR will remember your feedback. Okay, I mean they will document it. So someday in the future, let's say if they see an opportunity and they feel like okay, this person, out of 10-20 people, only this person has submitted a feedback, why not try them because they showed some courtesy. So it might actually bring out like good karma. So you never know, I mean it can happen, right? So and any feedback mostly does not take more than 5-10 minutes. So I mean, like obviously we are not that busy where we can not spend 5 or 10 minutes of our life to feed a feed to fill a feedback. It's not that case, right? So fill that. I mean, like give them that chance to know about you. So a summary of what all we discussed, I just want to bring it up so you don't forget what was present in the first slides, right? So that's the target icon I mentioned, because if you follow these points mentioned in the summary, then most likely you will crack that interview unless you are not prepared on your skill sets. So research the company for which you're interviewing. Uh, I mentioned how to research. Be on time, dress accordingly, goes with the attire. Be honest. I mentioned a lot of times. Come prepared with your examples of achievements and contributions. Come prepared for discomforting questions. Like I said, there will be questions you will not expect, and you know whatever the question is, I mean, it will be based on your resume only. Like I said, it will be around your resume, whatever you write in your resume. Be prepared for any sort of questions from there. Okay, so be prepared for discomforting questions. Some questions, as soon as you hear it, you might not like it, but you have to answer, right? So give an honest answer. That should be okay. Watch your body language. We spoke about body language, lot of points, so keep it in mind. Like I said, don't ask about salary and benefits in the initial interview. Don't speak badly about your former bosses or co-workers. Like I said, you'll be manipulated. You'll be manipulated to answer this, but you know don't speak over the interviewer. Like, I mean, it should not be like the interviewer is asking you to, no, listen to me 1 minute, calm down. That scenario should never happen. Okay, like you should not speak over the interviewer. First listen to them, then you speak. Okay, but don't jump on them. Don't jump on them as in not literally jump on them, but in terms of dialogue. Don't cut them. Okay, that's a big no no. I mean, interviewer, like I said, is in charge of that situation. So let him or her be in charge. Okay, don't make them say, listen, calm down, listen to me for 1 minute. No, don't say, don't get into that situation. And most importantly, don't bring out your phone. like I mean, put it in silent mode. Don't let your phone disturb the interview process. That itself is a very negative thing. Okay. Okay, that takes me to the Q&A part. So now the forum is open to you. You ask your questions from whatever we said. I mean, I'm happy to move the slides if you want to see what we talked about there. So bring it on.
Anna, how to answer this strengths and weaknesses question? Strengths are okay, but how to answer weakness question?
Yeah, maybe you don't want to say directly, but you know, yeah, that question can come. Uh, Strengths and weaknesses. So weakness, what you can be like. I mean, like for example, let's say, if I want to talk about my weakness, so I'll be like, yeah, there are certain things. Now I'll not mention what is exactly my weakness, but there are certain things which kind of distract my attention. But I'm working on them. I'm working on how to get over them, how to move on when certain things happens. Although they are kind of my weaknesses, but my strengths take over sometimes, and I'm trying to work on how to challenge those things so it doesn't come in between what I'm doing. Okay, it's a very generic answer. It's not needed that you tell your weaknesses. Let's say my weakness is, like, let's say for some reason, let's say, um, yeah, let's assume my weakness, one of my weaknesses is that you know sometimes I tend to uh, procrastinate. So now procrastinate meaning is that I tend to put off things for a later stage. Like for example, social media team sends me an email to review. Even though there is a chance to review at that point of time, I'll be like, okay, we have time for this and we can do this later. But that later becomes way too late in the situation. So that, I would say, that is one of my weaknesses, because I'm not able to do that on time. But let's say if I tell them that I'm working on it, I try not to procrastinate a lot of things, then that weakness is slowly fading away. But I would recommend not to tell things directly. Say it in a generic way. Say that you're working on them. That is more important.
Okay, Anna.
Yep. Yeah. Amit. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Right. So yeah, there might be things that are already in resume. Now you can't tell that you have mentioned all these things in resume and they can read it. No, they are asking for a purpose. They are asking, why, like, I mean, they're asking why you are talking about this, how you are talking about this, how your English flow is, okay, how your communication flow is. So they want to know those things. They just want to beat some time, so they go through your resume, and also they will understand how you present yourself when you're talking about these things. So when you answer, yes, as a fresher, you tell about your name. Don't give your family details. Okay, I mean, you're Soumit. My dad's name is so and so. My mom's name is so and so. My brother's name is so and so. My dad is this, my mom is this, my brother is this, my brother is married, my brother has 2 kids. No, don't go into those details. They're asking about you, not your family, right? So tell your name, then talk about your educational details. Now, educational details also, you can be like, you completed your school, you completed your plus two, then then your, your engineering, and that's it. Then, you know, talk about, your skill set. Okay. Tell them honestly. Again, whatever is in your resume, it should stick to that. Okay. Don't tell them something extra. Don't tell them something, that is not there also. So, tell about your skill set. Then once that is done, um tell about your project also. Okay. Like, these 4 points: yourself, your education, your skill set, your project. These things needs to be focused on when you say about yourself. Most of the time, when you after you talk about your skill set, the interviewer might stop and start asking questions about it. Okay. If they ask, that is fine. I mean, like, that is where the interviewer is starting their round of questions. But if they don't ask, let's say after that also, they'll be like, okay, then they will nod, or maybe they'll be like they're expecting things. I mean, obviously you will be looking at the interviewer. You should know whether they're expecting more information out of you. So in that case, the fourth and last point would be to talk about your project. After that also, if they are interested more, then you say like what you want to do in your free time, like your hobbies, and that's it. After that, there is nothing to tell. Okay, yeah. Who's next?
Anna, what if the interviewer asks about the salary expectations?
Interviewer asks you about the salary expectations. Yeah, tough question actually, because yeah, this is also one test question, because usually interviewers won't ask you 90%. They'll not ask you that question. But let's say they have time and they are done with their questions. They want to play around. They want to, put you to test on these kind of tough questions. Then yeah, they'll ask you that question. What are your salary expectations? Then you can be like, it should more be like you're presenting yourself again. It should not be like you're interested in money. It should more focus towards, uh, you can tell like, yeah, I'm expecting whatever the market standards are, that is the bare minimum expectation. But since I carry these kind of skill set, since I know I can, do things. I've completed some projects. I have had some achievements and accomplishments. So I am expecting a slightly a bit more than the uh, current market standards. Now you have to research what are the market standards for salary in terms of the job role. So that way, let's say, uh, the current market standard for freshers is 4 or maybe 6 LPA. Okay. So don't say I'm expecting 6 LPA. No, that will again put you in that trap where they will be like, okay, you're interested in money. And if a company, let's say you join their company, and suddenly one more company tells you that they are willing to offer 8 lakhs, then you might jump. So that will kill the opportunity. Okay, that 8 lakhs opportunity might come to you or not, but they will have an assumption that you will jump when you are getting more money, which is, which happens in most cases. But as a first interview, as a fresher, they should never get a feeling that you're interested in money. Okay, give a generic answer. Like I said, your expectation is, adhering to market standards. But, since you have asked, I would like to answer honestly and say that you possess skill set. Your skills will, you're confident that your skills will definitely impact the growth of their organization, and that way you're expecting slightly more than the market standards. But I'll be happy to accept whatever it is until the opportunity is making me grow. Doesn't that sound like a very positive answer?
Yes, Anna.
Okay.
Hello, Anna.
Yeah.
In the scenario-based questions, will they expect for a specific answer or they will check the way of answering to the
Like what scenario? Can you be specific?
like you met with a theft like you asked in the SPECANCIENS interview.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, that kind of questions we will, I mean, like, any interviewer looks for the first, they look for the thought process. Like, I mean, they give you a situation and, they will see how your flow of thought is. I mean, whether you're asking more questions, whether you're trying to think with whatever information is given, because there is no rule that you should not ask questions, right? I mean, when we gave you one situation, some people just they thought that okay, this is right and this is what we'll do, but they never asked for more questions. Okay, so in that situation I would say if there is a question to ask, if you think there is a scope of questioning, then ask questions. That way it will narrow down the area of thinking and let you give a proper answer. I would not say right or wrong, but I would say a proper answer. So that way the interviewer will think, okay, this person has some analytical thinking. They are trying to analyze the situation and come up with what answer might fit the situation. Then based on your answer they'll be like, okay, whether you are very specific or whether you're generic. Then they'll also think if that answer is put in a real time scenario, whether that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Like for example, one of the questions that I mostly ask in the spec engine interview is that the murder concept, where your friend has murdered someone and come to you for help, and what are you going to do? So in that case, the right thing to do is to report. I mean, like like yeah, you can analyze what kind of crime, what kind of is there any grudge, is there any sudden problem that has arrived, that the situation has happened, because you try to assess. I mean, because it's your friend, you obviously want to assess what the situation is. But then after all that things also, the right thing to do is to report the crime. I mean, obviously, as a citizen of the country, you have to report the crime. As a friend, it might be your own discretion, but as a citizen, as a legal, the legal entity requires you to report the crime. So that's the right thing to do. I mean, that is what we expect after analysis also.
Yes, Anna. Thank you.
You have once said that in corporate world, we address each other by their names. Like we
Yes,
don't call them sir or ma'am. But
correct.
during an interview, since they are in a senior level and it's our first time meeting them, so how do we address them during that interaction?
No, in interview it's sir only, because in interview you are not yet into their company. I mean, once you become an employee, then those corporate rules apply to you. But in the interview, it will be sir only, unless the interviewer be like, you can call me Sirish, no need to call sir. Then you can, okay, then you can be like, you can have that freedom of calling by name. But until then, it is sir or madam only. I mean, like, if you are experienced, I mean, already, because you know the culture of corporate, you're experienced, then you will, once you're into the interview, you will be like, yeah, hi, Pavan, Praveen, whatever, I mean, their name is. You will be like, yeah, hi, Pavan, yeah, how are you doing? And you will take your chair and, stuff like that. But as a fresher, it is addressed as sir, madam only until the interviewer wants to call you by name. I
Okay.
mean, call their name, right? So, Yeah, so I'll refresh the slides once, just so if you get any questions in between, stop me and ask. Okay. So I'll go back one by one, or else should I go back? Yeah, that's okay. I'll go back. Or else, yeah, the summary is also speaking about those points. So, if you feel you have a question here, you can ask.
Uh, you said that you asked us to carry our own bottle in case for the interview.
Mhm.
Uh, if I place my bottle on their table, wouldn't that be a little unprofessional, or I'm taking lenience or something? Would they judge me for
Don't
that?
don't put it on their table. Don't put anything on their table. Actually, okay. Like even if let's say you carry your bag, right? So your bag, you have to like I mean, you carry, you sit, you put it on the side of the chair. Okay. So on the side of the chair, you will have your bag. So it is actually reachable for you to take your bottle, drink, and again put it back. Don't put it on the table. Don't put anything on the table. The table is interviewer's table, and they are the owners of it.
Okay.
Come on, guys, more questions. This is a free forum. I mean, this is only our team that is there. We don't have too many people here, right?
Yeah, I've got one more question. So, once you enter the interview room, you ask them that may I sit, and you said that make sure that your legs are reaching the ground. So make sure you adjust the chair. So if I keep on asking, can I adjust the chair, or keep on asking those questions, won't they feel that what is this nonsense?
Yeah, obviously they'll feel. Don't ask. That's the thing, right? I mean, if let's say the interviewer there are two situations. One where the HR takes you to the interviewer, and one more where the interviewer himself or herself comes to the lobby, and they'll be like, "Yeah, please follow me. Let's start with our interview." Then in that case, I mean, anyway they are taking you inside. They'll be like, "Yeah, sit here," and they'll go around and they'll sit on their table. There you don't have to ask anything. When they are sitting, you also adjust your chair and be comfortable. In the other case where HR is taking you to the interview room, the interviewer is already settled in their position there in the room. You like I mean, once you open the door, just ask for permission to come in, and you know just like just greet them. Immediately after greeting, they'll ask you to, yeah, please take your seat, and then just say thank you and sit and adjust your chair. Don't ask anything.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Anna.
Another is about the formal attire for girls.
Hmm.
Like we have different. This might be funny, but should we like leave our hair or tie it properly? And what about the dress? Like we have different styles, right?
Right.
What is the correct attire that we should wear? And few people will wear heels, and a few people will be wearing, those
Okay, yeah.
shoes, kind of. So,
Right.
what is the
Understood.
proper attire for girls for formal wear?
Okay. Yeah. If you remember, I mean, like, for the UDYAM 1.0, you people were asked to come in formals, right? So everybody had a different formal. Okay. Now we didn't point out that this is not formal, this is not, this is formal, this is how you should dress. No, we didn't point out. But like I said, the neat shirt. I mean, if it is a Western formal, if I mean formal is obviously Western. Sorry. So Neatly ironed shirt tucked in to the pant. Don't leave your shirt outside. Okay, that is not formal. Okay, it should be tucked in. Have a proper belt. I mean, obviously, girls also have belts. It's just not the boys. So then have a proper trouser. Then that I think you guys have a different sort of shoe. It's not the actual men's formal shoes. So you have that shoe which is like slide in sneaker kind of shoe. So that should be fine. Or whatever suits, okay, whatever suits that formal, but it should not be like your shirt, your trousers are all good and you have a flashy footwear. That is not recommended. I mean, doesn't fit with your formal dress. So in fact, flashy footwear is not at all recommended. Have a simple plain footwear for the interview. That should be fine. If you are very confused on whether this is a formal dress or not, it's better to wear a cotton chudidar that nobody will complain about on it, right? And no one will say this is not the dress to wear for interview. Cotton chudidar is the most decent dress you can wear. So go with that if you have all sorts of doubts.
What about hair?
Yeah, hair to tie it. I mean, like, tie it. Tight properly, that it's not like if you leave your hair it will fall off here and there. If the interviewer asks you to write something, then the hair will come front on the table and you adjust and it all gets messy there. Rather tie a ponytail or whatever braid if you want to, maybe, or if you want to, like what do you say, like that bob kind of thing. It's up to you, but don't let your hair get into the way of the interview. I mean, it should not be distracting and all. Okay, the interview should not feel like you are showing off your beauty just to please them. It should not be that case.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the background noise. I was traveling, but I had a question.
No problem.
Sirish, there is a misconception going on. Probably, maybe that has been triggered by certain people who should not trigger it, kind of from a mainstream. But yeah, regarding the dress code, see,
Hmm.
ladies wearing formal shirts and trousers with bellies. That's a formal, right? I have seen in the corporate.
Hmm.
What do you say? Do you concur to that, or do you feel that that's not a formal?
A formal with.
For ladies, it's a trouser. I mean,
Yeah.
a formal trouser and a shirt, plain shirt,
Hmm.
along with bellies. Bellies, as in it's a kind of footwear which covers your foot.
Yeah, that is okay, right? I mean, like I said, I told them that unless it is, it should not be like those chunky, flashy kind of footwear until it is decent and fitting with your entire look. It should be fine.
Okay.
I told
No,
them that there is that leather sliding shoes for ladies
yeah,
mainly.
yeah,
That should be fine. I mean, like, what I told them was to not wear flashy footwear.
correct. Because in the recent past, there was an information floating that okay, that is not a formal dress. Only chudidars are formal,
No,
which
no,
I
no.
find difficult
Okay.
to contemplate. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah,
This
no,
may be
no.
off the
If
record.
you,
You can take it or edit it or cut it, but just asking. Is
no,
to
it's
make
okay.
sure
I'll,
that
I'll actually, show you. Like, I mean, I have put that in slide. Maybe you joined late, or maybe you were not present during that discussion. But if
no,
you
no,
see the screen,
I heard it. I heard it, but I just want to
no.
reconfirm because
Indian,
that's the wrong.
like I said, if you are having doubts about your formal wear, then go straight with the Indian chudidar, which everybody has a dress, a cotton dress, a simple cotton dress should do the job for the interview,
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to
right?
reconfirm
Yeah, yeah.
that.
So that's fine. All right, who's next?
Hi, ma'am. What is the formal wear in terms of winters? Are like coats and all allowed?
Yes, I mean if you have a, you know, uh, like again, not so flashy, not so fancy coat, a plain, leather or maybe a sweater also should be fine. In the winter. I mean, obviously, your the inside atmosphere in the office is like a winter only. So, yeah, carry your warm clothes if needed. But like I said, it should not be like, once you wear it on your formal clothes, it should not look odd. Okay. So until it is plain and, carries that look, whatever you're trying to present yourself with, it should be fine.
Yeah, I got it. I have another question, Anna.
Okay.
I have heard somewhere that jeans are also formal wear if you like style it properly. Is that true?
No, jeans is not formal. Jeans is jeans. Jeans is casual actually.
Uh, shall I answer to Lakshmi once?
Yep.
Yeah. So jeans, jeggings, you know, something like a cargo, corduroy. Corduroy is for boys. That's fine. Corduroy again. Sometimes they are, coming with a fashion statement or some design. That's not allowed. Okay. So jeggings and all, avoid it. They may look like trousers sometimes because of the design or maybe the fabric type, but don't wear it. And for people who are in corporate specifically or interviewer, they will understand this thing. They'll understand it's a jegging.
Right. Absolutely right.
So boys also sometimes wear corduroy, but plain corduroy is what we expect, not with specifically certain line patterns or something like that. Even on, sorry, I'm going in detail because there has been some queries
I
around
know. I
this.
know. Yeah.
That even trousers with checks design is okay, but not big checks, smaller checks like 1 mm, 2 mm kind of. Certain fabrics are like that. That's also formal, but don't go with checks which are too big. No, those are not in the right way. They are kind of party wear, right? So there is a thin line between party wear formals and interview formals. Make sure you are having that knowledge. You understand that people do a lot of mistakes because of that. They tend to wear loafers without socks. Okay, it's
Yeah.
sometimes okay to wear loafers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sirish. It's okay to wear loafers, but I think you should wear a socks with that. Don't
Socks. Yep.
go without socks. That looks really bad and really negative. It looks very casual. And trousers with ankle length, or they should be full length. It should be covering your some part of your foot and your ankle. It should cover.
Okay. Pictorial representation again
Yes.
for your reference.
Yeah.
The right side image, not the red T-shirt image, please. Red
I
T-shirt
would
is red.
say, yeah, I would say once you, so for BTech students specifically, or maybe for degree people, once you are in your, second last or third last semester, buy an interview wear and keep it separately in your home. So that will help. Like for boys as well, have a formal along with a shoe, pair it with a shoe, and keep it aside. Like you wear it only for interviews or such occasions. That way you will know like what dress is for interview, what is not. Just wanted to say, Sirish.
Yep. Sure.
Thought,
And one more addition, guys. I mean, in the right side image, which I said is the ideal formal wear, I folded my hands because I'm out of the office. But when you're going to an interview, don't fold the sleeves. Keep it uh, keep it full hands and have the button pressed inside. Don't fold until here, and even if you're muscular, also don't do it. Same goes to girls. Don't fold it. Uh, just have the sleeves until full length and have the button. Just have the proper formal look. I wanted to depict that this is the formal wear. I mean, you might have doubts on, formal. I said them that this plain shirt and this plain pant with the black belt and black shoes, I mean, matching belt and shoe color. This is what a basic absolute formal wear is. It's not to, uh, like confuse them. But if you consider a simple answer to formal, then this is the formal I'm talking about. Where Akshay mentioned, not ankle length pants. See, it's not ankle length; it's slightly covering my shoe, slightly over my shoe, and that is exactly what is needed. And that is the ideal length of the pants. If you have it ankle length and you don't wear socks and no, all those things again come under skin show only. It's not just for women; it's for men also. Unnecessary skin show. Right, yeah. Slowly go one by one. If you have a question, bring it because we just have 5 minutes in this meeting.
Um, Another thing before the regarding before the interview, I know you
Uh-huh.
might have covered, Sirish. Eat light.
Yep.
Don't eat heavy,
Don't eat
because
heavy.
the moment anybody gets nervous, it's a human body's reaction that you start getting rumbling in your stomach. You start feeling sick in your stomach. But if you have, if you have eaten heavy, then that's going to get you into trouble.
Yep. And that makes me say, don't. I mean, don't go extremes. Also, don't eat too much. Don't go without eating.
Yeah,
You go without eating, will not have the energy to sit
correct.
there.
Yeah, if you want samples or some examples, eat idli or upma, something which is very light, you know,
Right. Yeah.
or one or two chapati. That's more than enough. After the interview, depends. It's up to you. You can have a heavy meal, but not before that.
Yeah.
Anna, what if I'm attending an interview?
Mhm.
She's on mute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, what if I have been attending an interview which I'm not passionate about that role, but I got that opportunity? Uh, should I take that or wait for a role which I am finding, or should I grab that opportunity?
No, take it. I mean, it's even if you're not passionate about that role, even if you're not ready to, go into that company, even if you're selected, it's a practice of that interview. Okay, it will give you a chance to, you know, tell about yourself, tell about your skill set, discuss. Basically, it will give you one more practice round of what's coming next, right? So don't, ignore the interview just because you're not interested. We have been telling this lot of times in the college also. Like I mean, last when there was a drive, I'll not name it specifically, but people were not interested. They were like, no, I'm planning to go abroad. Why should I even attend this interview? It's waste of time. No, you never know. I mean, like, is it the case that even if you go abroad, will you not put to the interviews? I mean, will you not go to interviews there, or will you not be having a visa interview? Will these rules not apply for a visa interview? It will apply, right? I mean, when you give an interview, it will obviously make you confident. It will in fact show the positives and negatives of how we are prepared and how we are not prepared, right? So you know go for it. I mean, it's okay if you're selected. If they tell you that you're selected, we'll send you a joining letter and all. It's okay. After they send, just politely deny the offer. That's it. I mean, you be like you got a better offer and you want to pursue that, or maybe you have another plan and you want to pursue that plan. That's okay. But don't ignore the interview. Give the interview. Okay, it will definitely make you understand how we have to be prepared for the next one.
Hmm. Okay, what if they give a pre-placement, like after 6 months of internship, they have given an opportunity in their company, but we want to move forward or take another opportunity from other company. So how can we tell them?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like, unless you have signed a bond or something, even though that bond is not valid, but the company, like, they make it sound like it's valid. So, I mean, they will have, it's not a bond, it's an agreement actually. Okay. So, if you have signed an agreement, then, you have to, like, look for those points which they want to, enforce when you are breaking that agreement, right? So, like, there are some companies, like, for example, you have spent 6 months for their internship, so they trained you, you learned something, you worked on their project, now you want to go away. Let's say, in those 6 months they paid you, like, 10 or 20,000 each month. So that means they paid you 1,20,000 in the total 6 months. So some companies be like, okay, whatever we paid you, just whatever we invested in you, for example, they'll be like that. Whatever we invested in you, just give it back to us, and you're free to go, is what they'll say. And once you pay that amount, they'll just relieve you, like in some companies based on their agreements. Okay, now some companies will not have any of those things. They'll make sure that you're staying with, I mean, like, you're staying in a way that they'll give you a good offer, and you will not want to look for another one. But in a case where you want to move away after your internship, you just have to be straight with the HR. You have to tell them that you're looking for a change, and you're looking to move out of this opportunity. Then they will obviously have to consider it. I mean, they can't ignore. They will not be like, no, 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 that's not possible and all. No, there is always possibility. Like I said, you're breaking their agreement. So whatever the terms and conditions they have put forth, you have to, other to that, and move out.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we are on the top of the hour. I hope it was informative, and tips and tricks were exposed to you. So now it's your duty to do these things and crack the interview properly.
Thank you, Sirish, for leading such an impactful session. Insights on professional presentation and confident communication were both practical and empowering. I'm sure this session is going to make a difference for our attendees in the interview process. Looking forward to learn more from you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, team.